Welcome to Revelation chapter 21, part 2. Let's read verse 7 of Revelation 21. Overcomers are mentioned 7 times by Jesus when he spoke to the various churches in the book of Revelation. For instance, in Revelation 2:7, he said, Hear what the Spirit says to the churches. To him that overcomes, I will give to eat of the tree of life. Revelation 2:11. Hear what the Spirit says to the churches. He that overcomes will not be hurt of the second death. Revelation 2, verse 26. He that overcomes and keeps my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. We could also read Revelation 3:5 and Revelation 3:12. Now, do we become overcomers by working hard? Do we become overcomers by keeping the 10 Commandments? No. We become overcomers by faith. In 1 John 5:4 it says, This is the victory that overcomes the world, even our faith. Who is he that overcomes the world but he that believes that Jesus is the Son of God? We will inherit this new heaven and new earth, not by the things which we have done, but by faith, by trusting in Jesus Christ. But there's a contrast. Some will not make it. Let's read verse 8. Eternity for each person will end up in one of 2 places. A person will either end up in the new heaven and the new earth. They will experience incredible joy, no sorrow, no pain, and they will live and experience the true love of God. Or a person will end up in eternal torments in the lake of fire. People who practice what the Bible calls evil things will never make it to heaven. Unbelieving here is one without faith, a person that's rejected Jesus Christ, someone that never thinks about God or rarely thinks about God. Whoremongers are sexually immoral people. Sorcerers are those that use drugs, drug addicts, alcoholics, and others. Idolaters include those that worship false gods, even gods like money, power, fame, pleasure. And others that won't make it include those that frequently lie. They deceive others. This is not a complete list. Other things are mentioned in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 9 and 10. These people have a lifestyle. It's offensive to God. They will end up in the lake of fire, which we spoke about in the previous chapter. This is a place of eternal, conscious punishment. There'll be a permanent separation between God and the things and people that offend God. There'll be no escape for those that end up in this place. Let's read verse 9. So these are one of the 7 angels with the 7 last plagues, and he came and he talked with John, and he showed him the bride, the Lamb's wife. I believe this is referring to believers, the bride of Christ. Let's move on to verse 10 and 11. Jasper is probably a diamond. It's a clear, sparkling white stone. Some think that New Jerusalem will look something like the planet Venus from the distance. It will shine with a bright white light. Sometimes we can see the planet Venus in the morning and early evening hours near the horizon. It has a bright, white, steady light. Let's read verses 12 and 13. God has an everlasting covenant with the nation of Israel. Some say that some of the tribes of Israel are lost, but God knows where each member of each tribe is located. And we see here that God is going to remember these tribes, and their names are going to be written on the 12 gates of the city of Jerusalem. 3 names on the north, 3 on the south, 3 on the east, and 3 on the west. Let's read verse 14 through 16. So this city has foundations, and the foundations are the names of the 12 apostles. And then he was given a reed to measure the city and the gates. There are many different ideas related to these verses. Some think that the new heaven will be the form of a cube. They think it will be 2,400 kilometers, about 1,500 miles on each side. Some think that believers will live inside this cube. Some speculate that our new resurrected bodies will have no mass, that believers will be able to float around to different levels in this new Jerusalem. Jesus had a resurrected body, and it could evidently pass through walls. There'll be lots of exciting things in store for us in heaven. Some Bible teachers, like Dr. J. Vernon McGee, believe that heaven is a cube contained within a sphere. Others think that the New Jerusalem will hover or rest upon the surface of the earth, the new earth. One thing is for certain: Christians will find out the details when we get there. Let's read verse 17. A cubit was an ancient biblical measure. It was the distance between the elbow and the fingertips, about 45 centimeters, 18 inches. So this wall is about 65 meters high, about 216 feet. Let's read verses 18, 19, and 20. Bible teachers and scholars have different opinions as to what these stones were and what colors they formed. I'll mention just a few of them. Jasper is probably a clear stone. Chalcedony is probably reddish green. Emerald is a dark green. Sardius is a fiery red. Beryl is a green color. And amethyst is a purple color. So this gives you some idea of the beautiful colors of the foundation gems that will sparkle in the heavenly kingdom. Some men on earth today place great value on diamonds, gold, and precious metals. But the values in heaven will be much different. Gold in heaven will be like common street pavement. Jesus puts much greater value on people, people that he loves, people that he died for. Jesus is not interested in material wealth. He's more interested in you. Let's read verse 21. The 12 gates are 12 pearls. These gates are never closed. And these gates are very large, probably 30 meters tall, 100 feet. Human beings have never seen pearls anywhere near this big. It would require a gigantic oyster to make this type of pearl. But nothing's impossible with God. It's also interesting that the Jews did not accept pearls. They were not kosher. Jews avoided pearls. Pearls were generally valued by Gentiles. And pearls are sometimes represented by as Gentile believers, non-Jews. Jesus spoke the parable about a merchant who found a pearl of great price, and he sold everything that he had to buy that pearl. And Jesus is represented by the merchant. He gave everything that he had to purchase you. Let's read verses 22 through 24. We read about the first heaven. Moses built a tabernacle which was a model of things in the heavenly, in heaven itself. And God instructed Moses to make these articles of furniture, the brass altar, the golden lampstand, exactly in the dimensions that he told them. And we have read in the book of Revelation about this temple. In Revelation 14:17, Revelation 15:5, and 15:8. They all talk about this temple. But in the New Jerusalem, Jesus himself will be the temple. Now, as we read about these things in the New Jerusalem, they seem difficult to understand, beyond our understanding, yet they're true. That's why God affirms these things as true over and over again. Verse 5, write that these things are true and faithful. So the glory of God will shine like the sun in the New Jerusalem. The Old Testament prophets also spoke about this place. We read in Isaiah chapter 60, verse 19, the sun shall be no more thy light by day, but the Lord shall be unto you an everlasting light, and thy God thy glory. In Isaiah chapter 60, verse 20, thy sun shall no more go down, neither shall the moon withdraw itself, for the Lord shall be your everlasting light, and the days of your mourning shall be ended. It's going to be a wonderful existence in this New Jerusalem. There'll be no more night. It will be bright at all times. Let's read verses 25 and 26. There's going to be activities in the new heaven and New Jerusalem. There seems to be entering and leaving. People are constantly moving. Some have suggested that only overcomers will be permitted to permanently dwell in the New Jerusalem with God. Those that have rejected Jesus Christ will never enter into this New Jerusalem. Verse 27. Glorious things are waiting for believers, the children of God. How thankful we should be that Jesus Christ chose us, and he chose us before the foundations of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love. Every believer can look forward to the day when we will see Jesus face to face. In summary, there's some interesting contrasts between the book of Genesis and the book of Revelation. In Genesis, we had the beginning of creation. God created the heavens and the earth. In Revelation, we have the end of all things. We have the creation of the first heaven and the earth in the book of Genesis. In the book of Revelation, there's a new heaven and a new earth that's created. In Genesis, the earthly paradise, the tree of life, the intimate relationship with God was all lost through sin. In Revelation, the new earth, a new paradise with God, a new tree of life, a new river of life from the throne of God, and a face-to-face relationship with God and Jesus Christ will be available to believers. In Genesis, the first man and his wife ruled over creation. In the book of Revelation, the second Adam, Jesus Christ, and his bride, the church, will be ruling over the redeemed world. In Genesis, we read about the introduction of sin. It brought many hardships on mankind: fear, sorrow, separation, death, tears, and pain entered the world. In the book of Revelation, God will wipe away all tears. There'll be no more death. There'll be no more sorrow, no more crying, no more pain. The former things will be completely passed away. Well, next time we'll study more about the new heaven and the new earth in the last chapter of the book of Revelation. Until then, may the Lord bless you and keep you and watch over you.